All right, thank you guys. The Heat take on the Nuggets. 1 p.m. Eastern tip-off. The Nuggets are the 1.5-point favorite. Totals 210 and a hook. The Heat's catching even money for a win. And if you like Miami plus the 1.5, they're minus $1.10 to cover the point spread. I'm 4-0 my last 4 MLB tier package plays on patreon.com/BrockPage. I'm also 2-0 my last 2 crowd pleaser teasers on that site as well. If you want access to these premium selections, link for that website is in the description section below. And once again, that's patreon.com/BrockPage. Now, Miami dropped 2 out of their last 3 heading into the shutdown. They averaged just 100 points per game in those 3. Miami ranks in the bottom 10 in scoring away from home. They've also won just 14 out of 33 contests when they travel. Miami's failed to cover the number in 7 out of their last 9 games taking on the Western Conference. They're also just 39% against the spread away from home. They're taking on a Denver squad who won 2 out of their last 4 regular season ball games, and that includes a 14-point victory over the first-place Bucks. Nikola Jokic leads the Nuggets with 20 points a game and 10 boards. He actually ranks 9th in the NBA in rebounding per game. Hang on for a sec. Jeez Louise. Eyes are watering. Anyway, the Joker is also averaging 7 assists per game as well. Jamal Murray's dropping 19 a game, 5 assists as well. And Will Barton scoring 15 a game himself, 6 rebounds, 4 assists for Will. Denver's 18 and 14 straight up away from home this year. They're in the top 5 in defensive rebounding, top 10 in points allowed. The Nuggets' last 3 regular season games stayed under the total of 210.5. 4 out of their last 5 head-to-head meetings with Miami also stayed under that total. Meanwhile, on the Miami side, 3 out of their last 5 stayed under the 210.5 themselves. Give me the Denver Nuggets minus 1.5 and the under 210 and a hook in that game. Before we go ahead and move on, just want to take another quick timeout and welcome you to the video. Got some lines and personal leans out for Saturday's NBA basketball action. Happy Saturday to you. Hopefully you had a very good start to your weekend. Hopefully you're not a little too hungover here today. But anyway, before we go ahead and move on into some more free content here, I just have to quickly remind you once again that we are currently 4-0 in our last 4 MLB tier package plays on patreon.com/BrockPage. If you want some more information on how you can join in on the action and access those picks, link for that site is in the description section below. And once again, that's patreon.com/BrockPage. Moving on, the Utah Jazz take on the OKC Thunder, 3:30 p.m. Eastern start time. OKC's minus 2, totals 214 flat. Utah's catching even money for an outright win. And if you like Utah, who, cover the point spread here, they're minus $1.18, catching the 2. Utah's covered just 17 out of 34 games away from home this season. And these are the types of games where you really need a big like Bogdanovich, who won't be returning in 2020. Utah's failed to cover the point spread in 2 out of their last 3. They also covered just 30% of their games in their last 10. The Jazz, they are just 1-7 ATS in their last 8 head-to-head meetings with the Thunder. Utah's also failed to cover the number in 9 out of their last dozen conference games. OKC on the other side, really starting to heat up heading into the shutdown. They won their last 3 straight regular season games, along with 8 out of their last 10. OKC's been a very good road team this season as well. 20-11 away from the friendly confines. 74% against the spread in that same category. Now, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he's averaging 19 a game, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. Danilo Gallinari, he's also dropping 19 a game, 6 rebounds for him. And Chris Paul, he's scoring 18 a game, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 steals. Thunder's top 5 in offensive field goal percentage, top 10 in points allowed. Very well-rounded team here. They're also 12-5 against the spread in their last 17 conference matchups. Now, total-wise, 2 out of OKC's prior 3 regular season games got over the total of 214 points. 5 out of their last 8 games also got over the posted total as well. The Jazz on the other side saw 12 out of their last 14 games get over the 214 themselves. Give me the OKC Thunder -2 and the over 214 in that contest. Next matchup, New Orleans Pelicans squaring off against the LA Clippers, 6 p.m. East. The Clips are -5, totals 225 and a hook. The Pels are +160 for an outright win. And if you like New Orleans to keep it close, they're -118 to cover. The Pels lost 5 out of their last 8 ball games. They rank in the bottom 5 in points allowed per contest. The Pels are also pretty undisciplined on the foul line. They're in the bottom 3 in shooting from the stripe. They're taking on a Clippers squad who's top 5 in scoring, top 3 in offensive rebounding. Kawhi's averaging 27 a game, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals. PG3 is also scoring 21 a game, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. The Clippers are 2-0 against the spread in their past couple of games, 7-2 ATS in their last 9. They rank in the top 10 in shooting the 3 ball, top 3 in defensive field goal percentage. Now, total-wise, 4 out of the Clippers' last 5 regular season games stayed under the total of 225 and a hook. LA's gone 19-14 to the under in their games away from home this season as well. Meanwhile, the Pels on the other side saw 2 out of their last 3 stay under that number themselves. 6 out of their last 9 also stayed under the posted total as well. Give me the Clippers -5 and the under 225 and a half in that game. Next contest, Sixers taking on the Pacers, 7 p.m. Eastern tip-off. The Sixers are -5.5. Jeez. Totals 215 and a hook. The Pacers are +$2 for an outright victory. And if you like Indiana to cover here, they're getting even money catching the 5.5. The Pacers won 2 out of their last 3 games heading into the shutdown. And that includes a 3-point victory over Dallas, where they held the Mavs to just 109 total points in that game. Now, the Pacers have successfully covered the point spread in their last 3 straight, 5-1 ATS in their last 6 as well. Indy ranks in the top 3 in the league in offensive field goal percentage. They're also in the top 10 in points allowed. TJ Warren's averaging 19 a game and 4 rebounds. Malcolm Brogdon's also scoring 16 a game and averaging 7.1 assists, which ranks 10th in the NBA in that category. Miles Turner scoring a dozen a game, along with 7 boards for him. Now, Indy's in the top 10 in defensive field goal percentage. They're also 6-4 ATS in their last 10 head-to-head meetings with the Sixers. And speaking of Philly, they're just 1-10 straight up in their last 11 games away from home. The Sixers have one of the worst road records in the NBA. These guys are terrible away from the Wells Fargo Center. They've been victorious in only 10 out of 34 total games when traveling this year. The Sixers also failed to cover in 24 out of those 34 contests away from the friendly confines. Philly ranks in the bottom 10 in road scoring, bottom 10 in road defensive field goal percentage. They've also failed to cover the point spread in 13 out of their last 19 meetings with the Pacers. Now, total-wise, Philly's last 6 straight got over the total of 215.5. The Sixers also went 80% to the over in their last 10 with regard to the posted total. 5 out of the Pacers' last 6 ball games got over the 215.5 themselves. Give me the Pacers +5.5 and the over 215.5 in that game. All right, next and final matchup for the show. It is going to be the Lakers taking on the Raptors, 8:30 p.m. Eastern tip-off. The Lakers are the 3.5-point favorite. Totals 217 and a hook. The Raptors are +$1.35 for some money line cash. And if you like Toronto to keep this one close, they're -$1.10 to cover the 3.5 points. And speaking of covering, the Raptors have failed to cover the number in 5 out of their previous 7 regular season contests. This Toronto squad, they've also covered the point spread in just 50% of their games away from home this season, so not a great covering team away from the friendly confines themselves. Now, Patty McCall's doubtful. Freddie VanVleet is listed as questionable with a knee. He's day-to-day. The Raptors also rank in the bottom 10 in defensive rebounding. The Lakers, on the other side, they are coming off a nice, hard-fought victory over the Clippers in the bubble the other night. That's going to make it 8-2 straight up in LA's last 10, 6-3 ATS in their last 9. The Lakers have certainly traveled well this season. They're 26-6 straight up away from home, away from the Staples Center. Top 3 in road field goal percentage. Anthony Davis is averaging 27 a game, 9 rebounds, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. LeBron's getting 26 a game himself, 8 rebounds, 11 assists. LeBron actually ranks first in the NBA in assists per game. The Lakers are in the top 5 in points allowed on the road, top 3 in road defensive rebounding. And when it comes to the total in this one, LA's last 4 straight fell under the total of 217.5. 7 out of LA's last 9 ball games stayed under the official posted total as well for those games. The Raptors on the other side went 60% to the under in their last 10 themselves. Give me the Lakers minus 3.5 and the under 217 and a hook in that contest. All right, let's go ahead and dive into some shout-outs and from our Patreon platform. Shout out to Sable Ponta, Jarrell Cole, DeQuincy Richard, Eric Beard, John Rambo, Max Angelroth, Quentin Condry, Anthony Scavone, Damian Bell, and D. Fletcher. Next, shout-outs from our Instagram platform. Shout out to Julie Monick, Matt Toughlove, Will Slade, Chanchi09, Keaton Johnston. Also want to give a shout out to Bubba Jonesy, Abe Osuna, Fabrizio Piccioni, Cody Nunn, and Jacoby Blackman. And finally, from our YouTube platform, shout out to Paul Lopez, Game Over, Ulysses Hayes, Bo Dunn, Goodnight Munchie. Shout out to G&G, Roderick B, Ryan Johnson, Ant Ruga, and last but certainly not least, gotta give a shout out to my man, Michael Areola. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Once again, don't forget to check me out on Patreon. If you guys decide to pull the trigger and get a membership today, today's the absolute best day to do that because it is the first of the month. So you're getting absolute max value for the month. Guys, what happens on Patreon is we bill you the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. So what will happen is if you sign up today, you're going to get billed today, and then you're going to get billed on the 1st of September. Max value. That's the absolute best play you can do if you want access to those picks is to sign up early in the month, especially on the 1st. Once again, we'll bill you the day you sign up and then the 1st of every month following that. All right. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for me. Got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, happy Saturday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage.